Happy, terrific Tuesday to you. I know that I said I was going to be coming on here earlier today, but I realized I really don't dictate my schedule. My kids dictate my schedule. So they had me a little preoccupied with them and their needs, but I'm here and we are going to jump straight into WASP. I don't like WASP. We're going to jump straight into 21 days of power programming. Today, we're going to be discussing securing the meeting. So if you guys are interested in starting your own programs or schools, or even if you are looking to just secure sponsorships, collaboration opportunities and meetings, and you're saying, I don't even know how to get in front of the people that I need to discuss what needs to be discussed, I'm going to lay out the foundation for you today on how you can secure meetings with very important people. So here's what I do. Number one, as I set my intention for my program and plan for the year, I already have in my strategic plan who I want to partner with. So if there are some very specific schools that I want to get into with my program, I have them listed out and I know who the principal or point of contact is for that particular school. There may be an organization, like let's say there are sororities, there are corporations that do really well in certain areas. What I do to know who to partner with, number one, is I go online and I type in top 500 companies in Metro Atlanta. Lists come up, typically on your Chamber of Commerce website, but various lists can come up. Atlanta Business Chronicle, so you check your local business chronicle, may have a great listing of what companies and what organizations are doing very well financially, because that may provide an opportunity for you to reach out to them to see if they have a grant writing process or a charitable arm that you can utilize for your program. But it also lets you know just who's doing well in the community, because they may have a very large base that you can pull from for volunteers. Either way, I need to know who these very important people are because I need to add them to my list. So from there, I add these people to my list as well. So now I have a whole list of schools that I want to partner with. I have a whole list of companies and corporations that I want to partner with. When I visit their website, for the schools, the information is typically very much so readily available. I know who the principal is. I can find their email address, telephone number, mailing address, fax number. Put those into an Excel document. For the companies and corporations, it's typically not that simple. You got to do a little bit of research. So you're saying to yourself, where do I research? My number one resource that I go to and utilize to get the information and the contact information of very important people is LinkedIn. A lot of people don't realize this, but inside of LinkedIn, once you type in, let's say, I need to know who the community outreach liaison is at Coca-Cola. And I often use Coca-Cola because that was the very first company that I had the guts to reach out to and actually secure a meeting with. And it was one of my proudest moments as I was beginning out on this entrepreneurship journey. But when I needed to know who to contact, I went on LinkedIn. I found the name of the lady that I wanted to secure the meeting with. And then I reached out to her. I got her email address. I actually sent her, at the time, it's called InMail now. It wasn't called InMail then. But they had an opportunity then for you to just send an email to the person. Now it's gotten a little bit more complex where you have to sign up for InMail and you have to have a premium account in order to do that. If you are capable of making that investment, I would definitely suggest it, make it, because you'll be able to make connections far beyond what you will be able to do with a typical LinkedIn account. So I would suggest doing that. But second part of that is if you go into all of the contacts that you have on LinkedIn, there is a way to download all of the email addresses that they use to sign up for their account. So if I wanted to send a mass email, which I do not suggest you doing, if I wanted to send a mass email though to all of my LinkedIn connections, I can download that CSV file and I can send a introductory, as things are flying, I can send an introductory email to everyone on my list to say, hey, did you know who I am? Here's an opportunity for you. It may work, but sometimes bulk mailing people without an individual message or individual request is just spammy. So that's why I don't suggest it, but you do have access to it. I've downloaded mine, so I have everybody who is connected with me, I have all their email addresses. So if I do want to go through my list and identify specific points of contact, I can. And I will go through that list, and I will be able to email anybody that I need to with a very specific message and very specific request. So for me, that's the number one resource that I go to. I also have a subscription to Atlanta Business Chronicle, which lets me keep up with what's going on in the business world in my community. And sometimes when people are featured, their contact information is listed at the bottom, or just kind of like their network. You kind of start to see the same people in pictures with one another that are gracing the same events, that are, you can connect with them on Facebook, you connect with them on other social media platforms, and you can make your point of entry that way. To me, though, it is very unprofessional to reach out to people, let's say on a Facebook or Twitter. I've seen people do it and have success, like people who, tweet Ellen and you'll be on Ellen, and sometimes that works for them. But as far as what works in our sector, which is either nonprofit or just programming in general, it's best to send an email or make a phone call. And you can call and say, hey, I sent you an email, just wanted to make sure that you got it and I didn't go to your spam folder, which is another great way to make that point of contact. So once you have your list, for me, list of schools that I wanted to partner with, list of companies and corporations that I wanted to reach out to for sponsorship, type them up in an Excel document. If for any reason you don't have time to do this, like for right now, I'm very busy and I'm focusing on outsourcing for help this year and not doing the busy work. I'm trying to do the work that I do best and send some of my busy work off to other individuals that get paid to do that. So a source that I utilize for that, or a resource that I utilize for that, is Fiverr.com. It's Fiverr.com. You go in there and you can create a specific job that you need assistance with. Like as part of me being the motivator, one of my major goals this year is to speak at, not specifically this year, but over the next 5 years, speak at all girls schools in the United States. So I had a listing of this. I wanted it, though, the school, the address, the point of contact, the telephone number in an Excel document. I have the information, I just don't have time to put that together. So I sent all the information that I had over, and I put the job out there on Fiverr, and I said, if anybody can get this back to me in 24 hours in an Excel document, my budget is $10. So people are sending over requests that are typically like data specialists, and they're saying, you know what, I'm very interested in that. I can go ahead and I can do that for you for $5 or for $10. And these tend to be people that are overseas that respond back. Either way, I sent out, paid $5, and I had someone draft that into an Excel document for me. From there, once I have that tool back, I'm able to create a mail merge where I can send out the letters that I need to everyone on that contact for the Excel sheet. So if you're looking to secure a meeting, you're saying, I have all my contacts. You want to get all those contacts into an Excel spreadsheet. Go into Microsoft Word, type out your letter, and we're going to discuss what needs to go in your letter today as well. Type out your letter. You're going to mail merge it with all the contact information that's in Excel so that you can send out, print out all of your letters, print out all of your envelopes, send off your letters, and wait for the responses to come back in. The second part of that is that you can also do this via email. If you have all of your email addresses also listed in that Excel spreadsheet, you can go in and you can also create your introductory letter, and you can send it off, print them off, and send them via email. Emails to me, though, can get lost in spam. They can get lost in just scrolling too fast. They can get accidentally deleted. So you have to kind of email maybe more than once. And mail, it can get lost as well, but I like to do both, email and mail, so that you have the same letter twice and you're able to respond back in whatever way works best for you, which for some people is email, but some people like to get traditional mail. And I know that it gets to be a letter that gets to sit on somebody's desk, and it may get into the right hands or may get passed off to the correct person. So back to the time when I got to meet with the executives at Coca-Cola. I was so brave and so ambitious when I started my program, and I wanted to make sure that the folks at Coca-Cola knew it. So I went on LinkedIn and I found out who was the community liaison, and I reached out to her. It was an African-American woman, and I was like, yes, I can position myself as this young, ambitious African-American woman starting off this organization, hoping to empower young women of color. And the wording that I used was to that effect in the letter. And I sent it out to her via email. She responded back the very next day, said, "What times are you available to meet?" So I'm in the room, I'm doing my happy dance. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. Securing the meeting. Sent the meeting request over to her. We got both of our dates on our calendar. I reached out to my cousin because I did not have an actual assistant at the time. I said, "You are coming to the meeting with me. You're going to sit with your notebook. We're going to wear our suits, and you're going to be my assistant for the day." It was all about image, and I had to make sure I seized every opportunity to look as professional as possible when we walked into that meeting. I told the young lady that I was meeting with that I was going to send a copy of my proposal over to her, but if she didn't have an opportunity to review it, that we would review it in that meeting together and see how Coca-Cola and I could work in partnership with one another. So I can get into the details of what happened in the meeting before I end this live, but to jump back into how you can get to that place, here's what I included in the letter. So I started off with being able to simply introduce myself and my organization. Sometimes people get so much clutter in their inbox that they need to know why your email is important. So your subject line for your email is going to be very, very important to even get someone to click and open the email that you're sending, especially if they don't know you and they don't have your email address in their address book. So when I send out information to schools, most schools are looking for partnerships, community partnerships. So I always subject my emails by saying community partnerships or partners in education for the 2018-2019 school year. That way, the principal is scrolling through and the words community partnership, which should be on their radar, is ringing for them. Oh, this is a community partner, especially the schools that I target are lower income schools and they don't have access to a lot of community partnerships anyway. So that is a keyword that I know will get the eyes of whoever I'm sending that out to, which is typically the principal or the parent liaison, to open up that email. As far as corporate sponsorships, you're writing out and you're letting them know charitable organization. For them, especially people who are in community outreach, they're also looking for community partnerships. How can I get the nonprofits and the youth programs and the elderly programs and the programs that help the homeless, all of these wonderful community efforts, how can I get them connected to my company? How can we better support our community? Here's the thing though, when you go after major corporations and companies, there are so many people trying to get in their door and get those dollars that we all know that they have. So sometimes you may not have as much success. However, if you reach out to new businesses, or if you reach out to small local businesses, they too are looking for those same PR opportunities and those same opportunities to share their profits with community organizations. So if you found that you haven't been as successful with trying to reach out to those major companies, I would say don't give up. Continue to send your letters until you get the yes that you're looking for, but also don't negate the importance of the small businesses in your community as well, because they have some wonderful, wonderful people there who are entrepreneurs, who are small business owners, mom and pop shops, who are also looking to give back, but people kind of overlook them because they want to go for the major companies. Add them to your list as well. I'm sharing all of my secret resources with you, but how do you know where these folks are? So every business that registers with the Secretary of State to register their business typically also registers with their county for a business license. I go to county websites. Under their business licensing division, it shows who has registered recently for a business license. It has their name, the name of their company, the address they registered for their business, whether it was nonprofit, for-profit, and LLC. And you can scroll through this list. They print them out monthly. Some counties print them out weekly. Download these lists, scroll through them, see which names pop out to you, which company names, you may have a lot of hair salons, and you may be saying, if I'm working with girls, I want to reach out to new hair salon owners and welcome them into the community, let them know about my organization. It's a great way to establish a relationship and secure the meeting. And you're taking the initiative to reach out to them. So add that to your list of arsenal and resources is going on to your county business license website, download that list. They upload, like I said, either weekly or monthly. Reach out to people who are starting businesses. Let them know, hey, I'm here. I just wanted to let you know that we provide da 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 da. I'm interested in learning more about what it is that you do and how we can work together. And typically you can secure meetings like that as well and establish positive relationships in your community. Back to where I was before, introducing yourself, introducing your company, and also establishing why this individual needs to get a meeting with you. So because everybody knows that most people are writing about some kind of money or funding, you need to differentiate your letter. It's not necessarily for me even so much about money or funding, even though it is required for us to create a sustainable program. I sometimes want to know, what volunteer opportunities do you all have at your company or corporation? And have you all even thought about offering volunteer hours, paid volunteer hours, so that your employees can get maybe a Friday afternoon or Tuesday afternoon, an hour or two away from the office, but they're still doing positive community efforts out here in these streets? So sometimes whoever is over it, the manager, may not have even considered that. So we're giving them new ideas and new resources that make themselves look good as if they came up with the idea, but it's something that you came up with, and you are getting what you need as well, which is a volunteer for your organization. But again, they're getting that good PR, they're getting that good vibe and feeling that I'm doing something great within my company and my business as well to help make this world a better place. So even if you're not coming out the gate saying, I need money from you all, you know, you're a Fortune 500 company, we're struggling. They don't need to know that in your letter. They don't want to know that in your letter. They will not respond to your letter if you lead with that. So make sure that you're putting in there what reasoning that they have. Here is a wonderful opportunity. Use the word opportunity as many times as you can, because it's more inviting. You're not telling them this is what I need you to do. I'm inviting you into this opportunity for both you and I to do something amazing together, new together, wonderful together. Whatever words, use your thesaurus, work it out in your own particular voice and authentic style of writing. But invite them to do things and let them respond to the invitation. I would love it if we could connect for coffee or connect, over this webinar, but don't just leave them hanging as in, I'm going to wait for you to respond back to me. Let them know how to respond back to you. I use an app called Calendly. So you can use it. There's tons of scheduling apps. Find which one works best for you. I use Calendly. At the bottom of my emails, it'll say, let's get some time on our calendar. And it lets them know my availability off bat. You don't have to ask me, well, do you have Tuesdays open next week? What do your Wednesdays look like? It'll show you on my calendar what my week looks like. And you can just go in, schedule a meeting, let me know if you want to meet face-to-face. And I typically let them know I'll treat you to coffee, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, pick your poison. Let's meet over coffee, because they typically want to get out of their office and meet with somebody. They can meet on their lunch break. And if somebody's treating you to coffee, why not? I would love to be treated to coffee. So I'll respond back to an email like that just for the sake of going out for coffee. But let them know, here's what I'm doing. I'm inviting you out to coffee. Dunkin' Donuts, let me tell you this. I like to do my meetings at Dunkin' Donuts because Dunkin' Donuts is like $2 or less to treat someone to a medium coffee. To secure a meeting and establish a relationship for $2, you can't beat that. Starbucks, hey, that's a whole nother thing, because people can order 6, 7, 8, but you're typically paying under $10 anyway, which is a small price to pay for positive relationship building, right? So invite them out to coffee. If you have a local mom and pop shop that has coffee, like we had one in our neighborhood in Mableton, there was a Black-owned coffee shop that was really taking off, and I was trying to do my meetings there because I knew that they were just establishing themselves. It's great to support the local businesses in your community. There was a Christian family, Christian-based coffee shop. To me, that aligned with my values. So I did do quite a few meetings there as well. So find ways to support small businesses in your community as well. But if they have major chain restaurants like not restaurants, coffee shops, like a Dunkin' Donuts and a Starbucks, meet there, but decide what works best for you. But always look for ways to support small businesses. I mean, there are folks out here who are their whole lives are dependent on that. They put all their savings into opening up these businesses, and you still go to Starbucks. Just look for additional opportunities to make shifts and changes in your own, day-to-day activities, especially if you're wanting people to support your business. It's great to put out what you hope to receive, right? So I'm all over the place, guys. Back to the invitations. Invite them. Put your Calendly or whatever scheduling app you decide to go with at the bottom of your email. That lets people know, boom, she's ready. I'm ready. If I've already made the decision to go, this sounds great. I would love to meet with her. Go ahead and click on it. Let them know, all right, I'm going to schedule this meeting with her Wednesday at 10. She's in a completely different area from me, county from me. It's going to take her too long or take me too long to get together during the day. Let's just schedule a phone interview. Or if you're a person that's like, I need to see your face, I need to see what you're doing, I would love to come into where you are, schedule a video chat or a video meeting. And you can use apps like Zoom or Facebook Messenger. I just found out today has a video app. Great. Utilize whatever resource you have available to you. Schedule it. Get it on a calendar. Try to schedule as many of these as possible. Another great way to kind of keep this like coffee meeting thing going too is I printed up postcards at Vistaprint that all have coffee invitations. It says, join me for coffee. And it had one little postcard that it's like black. It has bagels and donuts and coffee mugs, and it fit perfectly with the theme of what I was trying to do. And I included on the back of the postcard why I was asking to have these. I said, I'm looking to meet other leaders in the community who are interested in serving youth, and I would love to sit down and treat you to coffee. When you order like 50 of those, 100 of those, 250 of those, then you can write a personal message to someone inviting them into a meeting. Invite them to join into your efforts. But then you can also just print out labels of everybody you need, stick them on those postcards, and ship them off. And if you have a nonprofit organization, if you're sending out mailings, that you should sign up for a nonprofit mailer. So if you are doing, sorry guys, my notebook keeps falling. Signing up for the nonprofit mailer allows you to bulk send things like postcards or bulk send mass mailings where the postage is covered. So if you haven't, visit your local post office, get the form. It's available online as well. I forgot the form numbers off the top of my head, but visit your local post office and ask them for the nonprofit mailing application. Now they have a little flyer that they send you that'll send you to the website with specific instructions, but it's best to ask for it so that you can get those specific instructions and follow them to the T to sign up your organization. I don't believe there's anything like that if you have a for-profit business. I believe it's only available, to my knowledge, to nonprofit organizations. So utilize the tax category that you fall into to the best of your advantage, and go ahead and apply for that, especially if you're planning on sending out, hundreds of invitations. And I would suggest doing that because not everybody is going to respond to you. And if you're looking to really fill your calendar and feel productive and that you were successful in your efforts, it's going to take a couple of hundred invitations being sent out before you can get maybe 25 to 50 actual meetings. Okay. At the end of your email, always provide as many ways for them to get back in contact with you. You don't know how people respond best. Some people respond back quickly via text message. Some people do not like taking phone calls. They would much rather send an email. Some people are ready to go. They're, quick decision makers. And if they are ready to go, you want to have your apps and links ready to go. Give them other ways to connect with you. They may say, I'm kind of interested, but I need to know a little bit more about her or a little bit more about her efforts. So I always include links to my website at the bottom, but also a link to join my e-newsletter, because they may not respond back right away, but they may want to see what additional content, what's kind of going on within its organization. They may need a little time to warm up to you. So give them those opportunities. I need to read your email address, email newsletter. I want to, check out more information on your website, learn more about what it is that you do. Send them to a very specific page too. Don't just put like, mine is leadingladiesoflegacy.org. I'm not going to send you straight to that. I'm going to send you to the About page, or I'm going to send you to specifically our programming page, specifically the program that I'm asking you to support. So you can go straight there and get the information that you need. Going straight to your homepage gives them too many opportunities to be distracted, and it doesn't really get them laser focused, which is where you want them to be, to get to that definitive yes to secure the meeting with you. So send them to a very specific page when you do give them links to your email address. That's with any web address that you are sending out to people for whatever purpose, send them to the specific page where you want them to engage, right? So at the bottom, that's what you're signing off with. Thanks a lot, Regina, email address, web address, newsletter, maybe links for Facebook and Twitter. The end. If you are tracking your emails and you're realizing maybe a week or so has gone by and you haven't gotten a response yet, follow up. Your follow through is key. Just simply hit forward on the original email you sent, resend it to them, and just say, hey, don't know if you saw this, might have gotten overlooked in your inbox, still waiting to connect. Wait for them to respond again. Now, maybe after the third try, if they're just not responding, maybe they're too busy, or maybe try sending out one of those postcards. They may respond back that way. Send it to the office, addressed to them in care of whomever it is that you were trying to reach. But do not be afraid to follow up on the emails that you sent, because again, I just consider myself a regular person. I can't imagine the corporate CEO or the manager of a department has so many people in their own company that they get emails from. And then people out in the community, your email can very much so just get lost in the shuffle. So don't get discouraged. Follow up and just make sure that they saw it. Some people might say, it happens to me all the time. People are like, did you see this? I'm like, I didn't even see that. Or I don't know where it went, or it went to spam, or it went to bulk mail in my email browser. And it's not that I don't want to respond to you. It just may seriously be that I didn't see it. And it's no hard feelings. So just follow through, get the meeting that you need. Fill your calendar. Now, you know that I work in youth development. So a lot of what I do is work with schools. And so there may be people who have a program right now listening to this saying, I already have a program, it's doing really great. We meet at my local church or we meet in the community, but I'm thinking about really getting into the schools. For me, when I was working in the community starting out, it's really hard to get people out on Saturdays and Sundays during their rest time. I felt like I was pulling teeth to get folks to my program. So I said, Regina, if you really want to be successful at this, go to where the kids are. You got to go into the schools. Some people are very afraid to go into the schools. I don't know the principal. They don't know me. I'm not good enough to get my program in a school. Yes, you are. Do you know how many schools are itching for enrichment programs? Because they know that dedicated people like you with structured programs like the one I'm sure you have to offer are going to enhance the work that they're doing with the school, with their kids. And so I have developed a program called Pitch Your Program to Principals. You can learn more about it over at reginacoley.com/PYP, the number 2 and P for Pitch Your Program to Principals. So if you're interested in learning more about how you can pitch your program, the specific letters that I send out to schools that have secured me multiple school partnerships, you want to go ahead and sign up for that program. If I'm going to leave it over here in the comment section, I'm actually going to type it now so that I don't have to worry about coming back to do that later. PYP to P. So that is there. You can click on that link. It's going to take you over to that course. It is a full course where I discuss the do's and don'ts of what needs to happen in those meetings, how to present yourself extremely professionally, how to not only secure the meeting, but nail the meeting that you're in, get follow-up meetings. I'm going to share with you in that class a very crazy story of what happened when I did secure this wonderful meeting, and this principal just shut me down the minute I walked into the building, and what I did to really just walk out of there with my head held high. It was the only, and since then, still the only time that has ever happened to me, but it caught me completely off guard. And so how to keep yourself guarded from that ever happening to you, that is included over there in that course. So I hope that you find that resource helpful. If that is something that you are interested in doing, is presenting your programs to schools, and that's definitely a resource that you want to get your hands on. Very, very low cost. for the wealth of information. And if you are not following, I am doing 21 days of power programming, sharing with you how to develop your best program and present yourself and your business out there to the world to get the success that you need. I've shared in the last video that I did that in the past 2 years have been the most productive, successful years of my life because I've gotten very intentional and I've learned so much from the mistakes that I made in the beginning. And I invested in coaching and I invested in learning tools. Is that a little person at my door? And it's allowed me to experience a great amount of success. And now I'm just sharing out with you guys free information. I mean, when you impact a child's life, you impact an entire community. And for me specifically, when I impact the life of a girl, man, the deposits that I know that I'm giving this child, when she grows up to be a woman, she has her own family, she becomes a community leader. We are beasts out here in these streets. Women don't play. When we get passionate about something, we go for hours. So I know that these small investments that I'm making with these girls now are going to last a lifetime. And not only my program, they're going to go off to college, they're going to get involved in other community programs and initiatives, and we're going to have the next generation of the strongest, most caring, powerful. I mean, look at these Parkland kids. They have voices, they have platforms, they are utilizing the skills that somebody has given them to create change in their community. So if you want to do the same thing and you want to be the visionary and leader for an initiative like that, you got to get your program out there. And you got to go ahead and pay attention to these next 21 days because we're about to set it off. Also, if you are not a member of the Call to Cultivate community, I invite you to join that as well. It is a paid membership platform. And this month, because we are focusing on 21 days of power programming, on April 19th, we're going to be having our monthly training call and webinar, and we're going to be discussing designing your power program. So if you want to get your questions answered live, or if you're saying to yourself, I think I may want to do that, or I have an interest, or I would like to learn more, or I've had this idea on the back burner before, but I did nothing with it, and it's time to reactivate it maybe in this season of life, then you need to join that community. I am offering a 3-month bundle of our purple level package, which you can find out more information about the community itself over at reginacoley.com/community. And if you say to yourself, you know what, I'm ready, let's do this, no excuses, like I hope that you are, I want to invite you to join at the purple level with this 3-month bundle. You can find out more and sign up specifically with this special at reginacoley.com/90-day pass. 90-day pass. I'm also going to put that right here. 90-day pass. My spelling needs to be right, yes? So I hope you join the community. There will be all of the replays. Once I get through these 21 days, I'm going to pull them off and they will only be available in the Call to Cultivate community. So you want to get your hands on those replays now. And I want you to join in enough time for our April 19th call, because we are going to dig our heels in deep and work on designing your ideal power program. If you are already offering a community program and you want to further enhance the work that you're doing or grow or scale your program, you definitely want to be on that webinar and training call as well, because we have some wonderful resources available to you too. I am teaming up with a few of my peers who also have youth development programs as well, and we are sharing with you a lot of what has led to success in our business. And I want you to be a part of that conversation, and I want you to be a part of that circle. So I hope that you accept my invitation for that. I am going to go ahead and get ready for lunch and get back to the babies. I hope that you join me again. I know that I said in the last video that I was going to be doing 9 a.m. lives. We're going to have to change that. Doesn't really flow with the homeschool schedule and getting the kids in on time. So likely it'll be 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for the remainder of this week. So if you're looking for a time to chime in, that will be it. Somebody asked me earlier today as well, what are you doing with the replays? I can't find the replay. So you need to go over to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/motivateher, and they will be available there as well. If for any reason you can't find it here on Facebook. If you know somebody that should have been here today or needs to hear this message, go ahead and tag them over here and share this video with them, because sharing is caring. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Make it a terrific Tuesday. I'll see you later. Bye.